What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name's Mrboat. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Nullus. The map is Watering Hole. This is best of 3 for the Champions League. Both players at 1 game apiece, both playing very, very well. Mrboat going back to his tried and true Odin, gets pretty lucky with the random map generation in this matchup, giving himself Watering Hole, which is basically another marsh. So we'll see if Nullus can adapt to what he saw from game number 1 and try something a little bit different here. Or sorry, game number 2, and try something a little bit different here in game number 3, or if he goes for the same strategy and just tries to perform it, or tries to go a little bit better. So just so we're clear, the way that the random maps for this tournament have been decided is that they were chosen before the tournament started with a random number generator by myself and Chrono JJ. The only manipulation that we made in it is that each map will appear once, or each map will appear a total of 3 times between all of the different groups of what's it called? All the different groups, all the different leagues. I think it's going to be 3 times because there's 12 maps. I think it was 12 maps, and there's 8 players in each. On the seven matches for each. Dude, I don't know what I'm talking about. I can't remember. Just look. There's just maps. They're random. We random generated and we just put them there randomly, and it's not my fault. Don't blame me for anything like that. We see a relic up here. We've got the Osberg wagon up in the corner here for Nullus, and we have the Wedget Eye. Oh, my brain isn't working. Send help. Send help. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so what is the play here for Nullus? I think we've been seeing Oranos players going for semi-fast heroics, but against Odin, and I think it's the way to go, but I think you should be trying to go Thea and not going Hyperion, because I think against the Ulfsark Flood, Hyperion is significantly weaker than if it's, say, against like an Athena or something like that, because if you Chaos an Ulfsark, it goes down to 2.7 hack damage. So it's like, well, that unit it's basically like you killed the unit. Whereas if you Chaos a Hoplite, all that happens is the upgrades go off it, and it goes down to, like, instead of it being at, say, 9 damage, it goes down to 8 damage. So it's still a threat to the opponent's army. It still adds some extra DPS to that army. So while Hyperion is good because you get those Satyr, I don't think that Satyr are any better than Stymphalian birds against an Odin, especially when the Odin's going to go Skadi and make a bunch of Frost Giants to pick your Satyr off, whereas the Frost Giants can't target the Stymphalian birds, which are really good counters to the Frost Giants. And if you can pick off those throwing axemen with your Arcus, you're in a really good spot. So what I wouldn't mind seeing is a little bit less Promethean in the Classical Age, and then a big spam of Stymphalian birds at about the 11-minute mark or 10-minute 30 mark with a Heroic Age would be really, really nice. So we are seeing Nullus just going for a standard 430 here. No crazy 4-minute shenanigans. Mrboat, on the other hand, going for what looks like a 3... Wait, am I seeing things? No. I am? I'm seeing things. This isn't a standard 430. What happened here? He has 7 villages. He's going for 8 villages. This is a 515 here from Nullus. Something that we very rarely see. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or if he's trying something new here. He's got an exposed gold mine, and Mrboat's going for... He's a little bit delayed on his own Classical Age, but he's going to be up first. And if you let the Norse player go up first and get settled into their Ulfsark spam, and it's going to be tough to catch it. And with this exposed gold mine, this could spell doom for Nullus here. So we'll see what happens, but I am wary about this. I think maybe Nullus is going to go for like a double... Oh, he's... Wait, what? He's going for 515 second town center here. This build order was insane. Normally people go for the town center before they click up, but Nullus is clicking up and then getting the town center up, leaving these oracles back here. The ravens not moving in. He could spot this one. This could be really, really good. We're seeing some walls coming up now for Nullus as well to prevent any Ulfsark flood over here. There is this water over here which is going to prevent anything from coming in, but the big problem is going to be, even though Nullus is going to have the two town centers, can he compete with the spam that's about to come in, or are we just going to see an immediate second town center from Mrboat and and this is going to be exactly what Mrboat wants. The Valkyries are coming in, going to spot this location here. The Hearse are moving over onto this location here. Mrboat super close to being able to get his second town center up. He's already got 3 Hearse over there, so it's going to be a little bit behind this. We see a forest fire coming down, and it's going to be able to prevent. Is it in range? It's not in range. That's got to be super, super close to range there. And he doesn't quite get it to slow the town center down, which is huge for Nullus, because now there's no forest fire to open his base up over on this side, because the forest fire on this forest here would have been huge. And this forest fire doesn't really prevent much for Nullus, because he's got this wood here, he's got this gold here, food here, totally fine. This forest being burned would have been gigantic, but a little bit unlucky there for Mrboat, because it didn't really get what he wanted to have happen here. And now Mrboat starting to spam out Ulfsarks, building the second longhouse walls coming up. He's got some nice defensive food over here. This watering hole is quite defensive, and a very nice one for Mrboat. He's going to be super happy about it. And we do see the Promethean offspring running into the base of Mrboat yet again, looking for something here to pick off. There's all these zebra in the bottom as well as the hippopotamus here. So these Prometheans looking for something to do, but probably won't find anything at this point. It's just too defensive. He does see a large gold mine over here behind the trees, but not going to matter too much. They will jump onto this settlement. And funnily enough, I think they do delay it pretty strong, or pretty well. And now the Hearse comes over and will kill them off. No attempted micro away from there at all. It was just absolute fodder there. And now we've got 1 military barracks, 1 counter barracks, 2 military barracks actually, going for a double military barracks here. How many villages does he have on food is the question. He's got 5 villages on. He's got 5 villages on food here. You need 4 villages for 2 town centers worth of citizen production. And probably you need another 3 for both of these military academies. So he's going to have to put a couple more villages onto food if he wants to support the spam that he's currently trying to do. Now he's ready to move out, but Mrboat's going to be fine as well. He's got his Ulfsark here. Doesn't have a lone wanderer just yet, I don't think. Well, he does have lone wanderer, so he's happy to move out as well. But it is 64 population to 67 population. And it's going good. And now the Nullus army coming in, but running straight by Mrboat as they just look at each other and like, yeah, we're not gonna, no, let's not interact. I'm happy to go this way, you're happy to go that way. Totally cool, no problem. Some more units coming in now for Nullus. Maybe Mrboat will fight these ones. Yes, he will. He's like, not, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. As Nullus is nice marker with those Terma and those Prometheans picking off quite a bit. These units have picked off that wall there, pushing through. They're going to be ready to start taking down the house as well, as Mrboat is retreating away from these units here. And the Prometheans are going to start sieging down this temple. They do so much damage with the extra crush damage. They have 5 crush damage. They're doing basically 15 damage in attack here. And the watchtowers come out. That's going to force Nullus away from this location here. And the Prometheus, this is I mean, it's actually not, it's not as bad as what I was thinking. If you go 2 town centers here, you get the extra, you get double the amount of favor basically, so you can make double the amount of Prometheans. And also you get some Stymphalian birds out if you go to the classical or the heroic age at a decent timing as well, which probably will happen here. But I still like the idea of not making too many Prometheans so that you can get a bunch of Stymphalian birds and abuse the Norse army. We do see an armory coming down now for Mrboat as he's rebuilt this wooden wall. Ulfsark's still running around trying to attack something here. No medium upgrades just yet for him as he's cancelled production here. How is he looking for food? He's got no resources in the bank. Nullus is going to be going to the heroic age here very, very fast as Mrboat is trying to catch up. This is just because of the Oranos economy just being so super crazy strong, and then the early town center as well helping out so much. So it's going to be like a 10-minute heroic age here for Nullus. He's not clicked it up just yet. He does have the armory there, and there is the Hyperion again. Really happy with Hyperion. Wants to keep sitting on it and abusing it. Villagers moving up onto this location. He's going to be grabbing those hippopotamus and the army looking to push into this location here, but it's a very defensive position. I love all of these houses here. The longhouse as well. The watchtower is going to do so much damage, but now the units can get onto this tower here. The Promethean and everything else doing so much damage. We do see Skadi is coming through right now for Mrboat as he's building another temple, going to be trying to spam out those frost giants, still trying to pump out those units, but it's basically both players going to the third age here, 50% and 36%. So Mrboat actually slightly faster, even though Nullus had more resources to go there. Mana getting picked off in the back of Nullus's base as Nullus is going for this Mrboat watchtower here. And he will be able to get it because there's really not that many units here right now for Mrboat. Medium infantry coming up, and we'll see what he can do. How is the favor situation for Mrboat? He's got 60 favor, so long as he can continue mining gold here, he will be able to spam those frost giants out very fast from both of these temples. And Nullus is trying to hold on here or find something to attack here, but the Skadi, the frost comes through and he will be able to frost this army. We'll see if he uses it. The Ulfsark do spot that this settlement is coming up. Chaos gets used instantly on this location here and hits the frost giant. There's the frost there from Nullus. The Hearse are going to be able to pick this one off very, very fast as more frost giant getting built only from one temple though, and more units are trying to flood out now for Mrboat. He's going to be able to surround this, and all he needs now is one wall to trap this army in, and maybe a longhouse here would trap this army in, and he can completely destroy it. And he's got the town center assistance as well, as Nullus is completely out of position, flooding more units in. The Satyr here as well. Town center is going to be going up very, very soon. And the question is going to be, can Mrboat get Balder here, and will it be enough to win this game? Having picked off an entire army here basically for free. Not going for the wall though, it's a little bit funny. He's throwing up a wall over on this location. This one will probably get up in time by the time this army tries to retreat away, as there is the frost finished. The units moving away. Heavy infantry is in for Nullus, but so is it for Mrboat, as this army is trying to retreat away through the gate here. The Valkyrie does get picked off, and all of these units will be falling. The Satyr and the rest of the army here does pick off that one Ulfsark. Now they're also trapped in here, but they can get out by picking off that wooden wall. And the Ulfsark will be picking off these Terma here as they're pushing them back. And everything else is falling here. Mrboat sitting at 123 population. Nullus at 123 population as well. But I'm thinking that this market will go up very soon. There it is for Mrboat, and then the Ragnarok's going to come in, and then this is just going to be completely gone in a matter of seconds once it hits. And there's still Crown Crane up here for Mrboat to go to. He can even sneak through this location here and go for the main base of Nullus. He's got fortified town centers, he's got watchtowers, and we'll see if he can make his way to the Mythic Age himself. Heavy Archers is coming out for him. He's getting plow, he's getting copper weapons, and so is Mrboat starting to work on those armory upgrades for his units. The Miller chilling over here on this town center, but Mrboat should easily be able to push through here, given how strong his army currently is with those frost giants, and the fact that there is no Stymphalian birds to deal with these frost giants is such a big deal. And those Prometheans get picked off instantly as well. Valor comes down onto his army, hitting a lot of those Murmillo, which is kind of what you want. You can sort of get away, we'll be happy with the Arcus, but those Murmillo do the most damage. We do see a shockwave there as the Ulfsark trying to get this town center up. He cannot get it just yet. He has to fight a little bit. The Ulfsark coming into this fight right now. Nice micro from these units, pulling those Arcus into the fight here. The Frost Giants helping out quite a bit. We do see some hero some manually heraldized Arcus here to take down the Frost Giant, not retreating that one away, as Mrboat is currently completely destroying this Atlantean army. These Ulfsarks just way too strong, and there's no good counter to them for Atlantean, who are trying to bash back towards this army here, this Herso, trying to get the settlement up, but he just won't be able to. We check the technology. You've got irrigation coming through from Mrboat, bronze weapons as well, but it's looking like the population is now 139 for Nullus to only 109 for Mrboat, as he's been able to win this fight. We do see the Frost Giant coming over onto the Satyr, going to be attempting to pick him off. He takes a lot of hits, but he will be able to take that one down, or at least trade 1 for 1 here with the help of the Mrboat hero and the Arcus to take it down. And there goes that Satyr, and then the Frost Giant will be falling not too long after. But Nullus with the map control currently. We'll see what he can do with it. Mrboat, on the other hand, just trying to fill his economy here with villagers, and I think he's happy to take these trades here, because it means that that's forcing Nullus to continue to stay in the heroic age. But this army is pretty brutally strong right now against the Ulfsark of Mrboat, and there's been no attempt to make hill forts at all right now from Mrboat, because he can't, to make out those Arcus that he was making in the second game, in that Marsh game, to pick off all of these Arcus. And we're not seeing any throwing axemen getting built for that matter either. Now the Frost Giant moving in, going to be taking down some more units here. And a villager coming in as well, trying to pick off this. We do see a Chaos coming down onto the Frost Giant. We'll see if the Frost Giant wants to attack red units or blue units. It's going after a red unit. It's a little bit unfortunate. Frost Giant has to come back and fight against that one. Trying to pull the Frost Giant back now. We're seeing Frost Giant or Rhyme coming in, going to turn those Frost Giants into Frost Giants of Thrym here. And he will be able to freeze the Gaia Frost Giant, and I think Nullus is going to want to retreat away from that, because, well, that's what he wants to do. See some military barracks coming up around this town center, and are we even remotely close to a Mythic Age here? Yes, Mrboat is just about to click up here, and Nullus is on a timer if I've ever seen one. He has to pick off some villages somewhere, because this Ragnarok, even though it's only 2 town centers, is still going to be absolutely gigantic. Throwing up watchtowers on gold mines is absolutely key. Got to defend against that one. We do see the Raven over here. There's no gold mines, or there's a gold mine he has spotted over here in this corner, but I don't know if that is Nullus that spotted that or Mrboat that spotted that. So we'll see if he can manage to sneak that one. Throwing Axeman chilling in the back here, as Mrboat is still trying to spam out units, sitting at 127 population. He is filling up this population with villagers here, and it's going to work for him. It's looking like, at the very least, it's going to be a fight on his hands. We see copper shields coming through for Mrboat. He's sitting with bronze mail, and he'll about to have bronze weapons, about to have bronze shields, and then I'm sure bronze mail will be on the way after that. These villagers about to get raided, need to retreat them off of this wood line, but not doing it just yet. The Ulfsark going to be able to hit these guys very, very hard, as well as they're not microing at all. The villagers come out of the town center ready to fight back against these guys, and these Mrboat are doing absolutely nothing and taking every single one of them down with him, while he's making no progress here. The gold mine is expired. There's some Mrboat coming in over onto this location, but I don't think that Mrboat's going to mind too much, as these Mrboat are coming in, trying to escape from the doom that has come in. The villagers yet again under attack by these Arcus, by this Atlantean army here. And we've got Baldur on the way, but we also have Hecate on the way, but this is 90% compared to 42% here. And the villagers are going to be, we does get 1 villager pick off, which does mean 1 less rag hero, but that's not going to matter all too much. Baldur does come through, Ragnarok comes through as well, Fire Giant coming out, and now we've got 293 population for Mrboat. He is absolutely gigantic right now. He's got copper or bronze mail coming through, and also iron shields as well. Are we going to be seeing upgrades for Nullus? He's got architects, he's got fortified town centers. No towers getting built just yet. The Tartarian gate has to be super careful where he places it, because it doesn't matter if there's like if there's only 10 heroes of Ragnarok there, he can pick it off very, very easily. And he's also still got these Ox Caravan that are going to be doing some nice work for him. And Ulfsark does get picked off as the Miller coming in, trying to pick off this marker would be kind of key as well. But the hero of Ragnarok will be able to pick that one off. And the Miller might want to be moving into the base. He does want to move into the base. There's 21 Rag heroes in this town center though for Mrboat as he is pushing forward. He can pop those ones out and pick this off instantaneously if he realizes that they're in there. He doesn't realize they're in there. He's going to hit that idle military banner. You got to click on it. Click on the idle military banner. It doesn't go away if you try and move units. Find the idle villages, or find the idle military, my friend. And now these Rag heroes taking down everything. Arcus in a really nice position though, as Mrboat is trying to push through. This Fire Giant needs to come in here and assist this one, pick off that Lampade so that she can't snipe the Fire Giant is very, very important here. But Mrboat not paying attention to this at all, still has idle military. Some of those Rag heroes coming in onto this gold mine. There's already no Milo over here as it's pushing through. We do see the town center trying to get up, but already defended that one with one throwing axeman there. And these Rag heroes are onto these units here. The Lampade still in the back, hitting some nice units here, but oh my god, why? That's the population situation here, 229 to 147. A shockwave coming down now for Nullus as he's trying to hang on. Fire Giant in the back here, going to be trying to deal a lot of damage onto this one. We do see the Heroes of Ragnarok attacking this town center here, still with idle military in that location, and the throwing axeman does get picked off finally by that citizen. And Mrboat is still pushing through here, but it's being defended immaculately by Nullus for the time being. And Mrboat retreating away from this here. And if we check out what it looks like to be it's not showing up. It's not showing up for Mrboat that he doesn't have, that his Rag heroes are idle. They're not coming out as idle military either if I hit the military button. So he's got incredibly unlucky here, and that's going to be a bug if I've ever seen one. We do see the Lampade trying to sneak around the back and try and snipe that Fire Giant from behind. We'll see what happens here. He will actually get onto that Fire Giant as well. Really nice micro there from Nullus as the Archers are going to be sieging away at these Rag heroes. And he's actually sitting in a very, very bad place. And there's the Rag heroes popping out now finally for Mrboat, as he has finally spotted them when he was moving to probably start building some villages or something like that. As the Rag heroes are now pushed off this gold mine here, but Nullus has moved over onto his back gold mine. More villages are going to be sent over there, and now the Rag heroes taking down the military barracks over here, while these heroes going to be of Ragnarok going to be retreating away from Nullus's army as the town center is trying to get up here for Mrboat, who is sitting at 153 population to the 129 population of Nullus. So the question is going to be, can Mrboat re-economize here, or is he going to be completely lost in this situation? But Nullus is pressing the matter here when I feel like it would have been better to just let Mrboat come to him for the time being. We're seeing a bit of a surround coming here with those Rag heroes on the back. These Archers are very, very slow indeed, and he's only got bronze mail and copper weapons as well. No champion archers either, so these are going to die very fast. Mrboat gets his town center up. He's going to start building those villages, which you see a Lampade that's going to snipe this temple. There's another temple here though for Mrboat, so it's not the biggest deal. So we'll see, and as these Archers are going to be running away from this Rag hero army, but Nullus is in a good position right now, given that he has not just straight up lost to the Rag of Mrboat, and he's making another push into this location here with these units. The Ark is going to be trying to retreat back to that choke point that they had formed here, but Mrboat going to say, no, don't want to throw away my Rag just yet. Would have loved to have seen a dock and a transport ship here. That's kind of what it's looking like Mrboat's going for as he's moving these units over here to build that transport ship to push off that gold mine would be absolutely key. And now the Rag hero is retreating yet again as he's sniping some units over here, trying to get those villages rebuilt from 3 town centers here. He does have Hippo here that he can go onto as well, which is huge. And we do see the Mrboat spot this, but I'm not like, why are they there though? That's a big question mark. I've ever seen one. And Nullus going to be tagging some of these units as they're retreating. Do we see the transport? There it is coming through. Going to be able to hit this location. A bunch of rag heroes coming over to raid that one there. And that's going to be really hard for Nullus to defend because he doesn't actually have any other gold mines on the map here. So it's going to force Nullus to have to fight somewhere. And we'll see what happens here as these rags heroes are coming into this transport ship, moving into the back of Nullus here. Going to be hitting this location very soon. A bunch of these units moving over here to attack the dock. Now these heroes coming onto the back of these citizens. They're not retreating just yet. Mrboat does spot them. Going to try and get a surround on them as he's hit them. Nullus does see that. We'll see if he throws down some ghost buildings or something. He's got no wood in the bank, so he can't do that. As the village is running away, he could have thrown up a wall here. Could have sent the transport ship over here and then thrown up a wall and picked off every single one of these here. And he is actually trading to get this up, trying to throw up this ghost wall, but there is a spot for these villagers to get through, and they're going to be able to get through, but a couple more are going to get picked off. Does get the rag hero in the right position, gets 2 more citizen kills here. Now the army of Nullus going for the home base of Mrboat as he realizes he can get some raids in onto Mrboat and keep him down. But fire giants are out now for Mrboat. He's got 4 of them. Oh my god, that's so many fire giants there. This wall coming up. Now Mrboat's kind of got a little landing party over here that he can utilize to hit a side build onto this back town center here, or even just transport all of his rag heroes over here and then hit this town center here. No problems. There's no defenses on that location. The army of Nullus, they're going to be coming in and trying to pick off these citizens that are, or sorry, these villagers, these gatherers that are trying to gather from these farms, picking off another one there. And then we're going to be going after this town center. There's 9 here, 9 melee units here. They're going to all get picked off very, very fast. And now the transport ship coming back over the other side, going to make their way over to try and pick off this gold mine here. But it's going to be very obvious that they're coming as the base, or the line of sight for Nullus is very, very good in that location. But he has not reacted to it just yet. More villagers, or citizens I should say, coming over here. But there he goes, retreating away from this gold mine now. And that's going to be no gold for him. And this is exactly what Mrboat wants. Starting to fight this one. The Lampade does hit this fire giant and then gets out of there. Nice play there from Nullus with that Lampade, playing very, very nicely indeed. And if we check out this location, we've got 140 population for Mrboat to 117 population for Nullus. And no gold in the bank for Nullus right now. These fire giants are going to do so much damage. The Lampade does get picked off there as he gets chased away. Heroes of Ragnarok chilling on this large gold mine. Don't leave it. You've got to stay there. We do see that the citizen are over here now, though, onto that gold mine. So he has to spread out and make sure that Nullus cannot steal that gold mine over there in the corner here. And you have this Raven chilling in that you need to run over onto this location. We do see a shockwave there for some reason. We'll just save that shockwave for maybe if you have another Lampade to try and snipe a fire giant or something for free. To see some Arcus in the back of this base here, still pumping those villagers, making those Ox Caravan, not making Ox Caravan. There are dwarves getting pumped over here from this town center as well. So Mrboat's economy will very much so recover here. Going to try and surround this citizen and get this kill here. These do so much damage with a 16.5 hack attack or damage per second here, and that citizen will be falling for the cost of 1 hero of Ragnarok before retreating away from this spot here. And Mrboat is going to be super happy about the position he's in right now. Has a Valkyrie out to heal these guys up. A hill fort now coming up for Mrboat. His economy is back in gear. Has a lot of villages now. He even has idle villages, idle military as well. Idle fire giants, get those back into the fight, and he's going to be in a good position. Nullus now moving in with his Mrboat, searching for something to do, but he still doesn't have champion Mrboat. Like I said, instead of moving out earlier, he should have been investing in technologies. But now he's trying to move in and get a raid onto this gold mine or something, but there's already a wall here, and that's going to be greeted very fast by Mrboat, and losing a lot of units willy-nilly to the fortified town center there. And we've even got some citizen back onto this gold mine here for the time being. These heroes of Ragnarok looking to head over there themselves to deal with that, picking off some military units first as the heavy fanatic and the Mamilla does get picked off. The heavy fanatic gets set packing there. And the military barracks does go down. And there's another hill fort up for Mrboat. These heroes of Ragnarok are more than happy to take this fight because they are so very, very strong indeed. 156 HP, 16.5 damage per second. Just not comparable to anything else that Nullus currently has. See some raids now onto this gold mine yet again as these Murmillo are making their way through. We do see a wooden wall coming up now for Mrboat trying to delay this. He needs to put a little bit of HP on each of these walls to completely delay it, but the Murmillo do spot it as the Ragnarok heroes are chasing them away, and Mrboat trying to get this hill fort up, but he does have 246 gold over here. He does need another gold mine at some point as these Murmillo back here do get chased down, will get picked off. But the hill fort has been prevented here for the time being. And now these units will come back. They'll be okay. Not losing them just yet. Mrboat still trying to boom. Oopsies, I didn't hit exclamation mark. Mrboat trying to boom. He's got 900 food in the bank, so I think he's pretty happy with where he's at. Maybe don't want to too far over economize. Does hit that Lampage. The Lampage trying to come in here to pick off a Fire Giant, and the special ability of the Lampage does come down. You got to know that this has 20 seconds of recharge time, and then the Lampage is going to have to kind of wait and see what it can do. It does a lot of damage. It's got quite a bit of crush damage in the back, but the heroes of Ragnarok do get onto it, and these Fire Giant are going to be able to stay alive here and pick off more and more of this Atlantean army as Nullus is just really struggling to upgrade these units here. What's he got? Still exactly the same upgrades he had about 10 minutes ago. You can see how hard it is for him to be supporting his army here. Fighting this army is definitely a losing battle. The Fire Giants just do so much damage, even with the hero units here, but it's looking like Mrboat sees the Lampade. He's going to try and run away, but the Lampade's got 4.3 speed compared to the 3.2 speed of the Fire Giant, so we'll be able to get in there, pick off that Fire Giant. We do see some ballista coming out now for Mrboat, and this Fire Giant will get picked off, but not before taking down, or almost taking down, one of those heavy Huskarl. Now the hill fort trying to get back up for Mrboat, who he's actually going to be pretty worried about a gold mine here. Only 2,500 gold left here. Actually, the same for Nullus. He's got 5,000 gold left in this gold mine, but he has to start thinking about starting that trade route. We see yet again this Lampade picking off another Fire Giant, but this time the Fire Giant's hitting blue units instead of red units. More heroes of Ragnarok coming in, picking off this Lampade here, looking to go for a raid as it looks like. And the Fire Giant just about to get picked off. And the Valkyrie coming over, another Fire Giant spawns here. Ballista trying to come out. Huskarl actually being the unit of choice here to deal with those Arcus mostly. The Fire Giant can be able to pick these guys off as they're retreating away. Another raid here from Nullus going to get dealt with by 8 heroes of Ragnarok if he actually does deal with it. Looks like he's being a bit slow, unfortunately. Looks like the gate will go down. Still not upgrading to like stone walls. Probably should have thought about that one there. And now they do turn around when this gate is at 47 HP. This army from Mrboat should deal with these units from Nullus here. But more units flooding in now for Nullus may change the tides of this. In fact, I think I tell a lie. Maybe the units here from Nullus are going to win this one. I thought this was a closer fight than it was. I mean, I thought it was a more dominant fight than it was, but looks like there's still 5 left. More units flooding in. We'll be able to deal with this, and then they'll be able to attack this gold mine here. But all of the gold villages for Nullus currently on this large gold mine. And Mrboat does have his one idle unit of that transport ship there. And the sentry, or the fire siphon here, going after the town center. But Mrboat's going to come around the back here with some Huskarl and probably be able to deal with this one. Fire Giant coming in as well. Has to be super careful not to lose this town center. You don't want to be losing it. That would be pretty bad. The gold mine has expired. There is still this gold mine over here with 6,000 gold left in it. The Lampade trying to track down this fire giant as Nullus is been on top of this the entire game. Does pick off that first fire siphon before losing every single one of these Huskal. Don't think Huskal are the best option here against this infantry-based army of Nullus. Now Nullus going after the town center here as the fire giants throw their fiery balls of fury. That's not what it's called. It's called Firestorm. And he's going to try and take down the fire siphon. But the fire siphon will be able to pick off this town center here. But I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. There's fire giant still going to help for Mrboat, who's sitting at 134 of 140 population. And he's going to start being able to get upgrades as well because he's not going to be able to support the economy he's got and the lack of population as well. But still flooding in here. And he's going to be moving these dwarves over to this gold mine here, which is hilarious, but exactly what he should be doing. The champion infantry coming in now for Mrboat. Iron Mail as well coming through. The fire giants able to pick off a lot of these units here. Those dwarves do pop into the transport ship. They'll be heading over to the other side, but not before. Well, I mean, he has to wait for them, but he should be able to make that happen there. And he's still trying to micro over on this location, do everything that he can. We see some fire siphon coming over on to this gold mine, which will be another gold mine for Nullus if Mrboat can't secure it. Nullus throwing up a bit of a Matrius market here. They need to put that market in the corner, ladies and gentlemen. This llama caravan here only has 98 gold in it. If it was in the corner, it would have well over 100. The further it gets, the sharper the curve of the gold carrying is. So very important to be on top of those and doing things correctly. We do see some dwarves coming in here as Mrboat is trying to do a little bit of a Village of Ragnarok. Does he have resources? He's got resources. You should just change these into Ulfsark to do those Village of Ragnaroks, but not doing it just yet. Retreating those dwarves back away. So one thing that you can do with Norse in the late game is you can over-economize a little bit so you have a bulk amount of resources and then grab 30 of your villages and change them all into Ulfsark to go over your population by 30 population basically. So if you're sitting at 160, you can go up to 190 population by converting dwarves or village gatherers into Ulfsark and then make a big push and do like mini Ragnaroks without completely killing your economy, because you only really need 60 or 50 civilian units in the late game. We do see the fanatics jumping into the transport ship, looking like, are they just going to go for here? They may not. They don't know about this over here. They don't know about this at all, that there is a gold mine happening here, but the transport ship will hit the ox caravans here. Fire siphon coming back out yet again, but the Huskal are already here, ready to push through this Atlantean army here, and the palace will be going down very shortly. Another hillfall coming up for Mrboat as he knows how important this gold mine is. The gold mine has expired now for Nullus, who's been spamming the llama caravans for quite some time. How's the gold situation for Nullus? Only on 95 gold. He's really struggling to keep producing the units like he is, but the market for Mrboat about to go down just as coinage is coming through. He could actually just shift the side of his market over here and he'd be totally fine. But he's throwing up another market over in this corner and he'll probably just try and reset the market a little bit further back. But that's a thing there. And he has to kind of deal with it as this game is continuing on. And these villagers now coming over onto this gold mine here, but there's already Huskal here, and Mrboat is going to be slaying nearly every single one of them as Nullus is not paying attention to them at all, still trying to make his way through here. This Lampade sitting at 28 HP, have to pick that one off, otherwise you're going to lose those Fire Giant, which he did yet again. It's almost worth it to just not build Fire Giant against this Lampade shenanigans here from Nullus, and Nullus does spot that this gold mine is getting gathered from, and it's only got 900 gold left on it, so he's going to be super sad about that one there. I'd love to see another heal for it on this gold mine just to make sure that Nullus can't grab it anytime soon. He has to devote some attention to it instead of going after the town center of Mrboat. And now Mrboat is able to continue to push through here with these Ballister in the back. the fire giant in the front. The Lampade does fall there. The pallets just about to fall as well. The Fanatics and the Arcus going after this town center here, but the Huskar going to be responding in kind and dealing with that one. I'd love to see Mr. Boat go for a side build onto this market now as well in order to shake things up. The Lampade's coming back in to pick off these fire giant. And yet again, Nullus is just so good at this. Been good at this all game, sniping fire giants, but unfortunately for him, he has to still pick them off with these Murmillo that he has, and the fire giant is still getting super value. And now the Ark is coming over here for Mr. Boat, but I don't think he cares about these dwarves anymore. He's going to have so much economy here. He's got 400 gold. I would actually like to see him convert some of these into Ulfsark and then pick this off and start the side build I was talking about ages ago. And the dwarves able to pick off every single one of these Archers, losing a couple of them. We've got 11 left, and there is a citizen over here as well, so we'll see what he wants to do with that one. He did drop military barracks here as well. We do see the Lampade coming in to help weaken those units. The Fire Siphon's still trying to take down this town center, but it's just very, very slow. We've got a watchtower queued up here, so it's looking like a lone Huskar going for this. I'd much prefer to see a couple of longhouses built here, build like 5 Ulfsark and then go for this. Maybe just go for a wall first and then the watchtowers. Just delaying the gold while you're pushing forward would be a better idea if he's going with only 1 Huskar. I don't think that Nullus has got a very good line of sight. Well, he does have good line of sight over here, so he's going to see this happen if he's paying attention. Not having line of sight here, though, would have been a bit more nasty. But probably focusing a little bit over here. The dwarves are going to take down this military barracks before trying to move forward here as well, or find something else to do. He does still have this gold mine over here if he wants it, but I'm sure he's got plenty enough trade. 59 gold only with this. You might want to consider rebuilding this. We do see the villager that was over here mining or chopping wood is now moved in to now throw down some watchtowers here. The same thing that he's doing is happening in his base, but he's not paying attention as the Lampade falls, and Mr. Boat is making he's slowly but surely moving forward into Nullus's base here. We do see the Ulfsark coming over here to deal with this one. This citizen is sitting pretty healthily at 60 HP. We'll be able to get the watchtower up, but then we'll immediately fall to these units, and then the watchtower will fall. And we do see the same thing happening over here, but the difference is a champion Huskar is much stronger than a villager. So he's going to be able to prevent or kill this citizen off and then get that watchtower up to start picking off some trade here. But Mr. Boat not paying attention over here to rebuild that watchtower just yet, as he has lost yet again another fire giant. But the ballista are out at this point in force. I'd love to see some walls getting thrown down for Mr. Boat. We see the watchtower has finished. A couple of military units coming over to deal with it. And Mr. Boat is still pushing forward in this front, but he's got these Ulfsark here. He's got these Huskar here against Fanatic and Murmillo. The upgrades are still awful for Nullus. So Mr. Boat is just trading so efficiently here as this game is going on. He does pick off another fire giant here. It's almost, like I said it already once, but it's almost as if it's better for Mr. Boat to just not build fire giants and instead devote that population to, say, throwing axemen or something like that. To just force out something different from Nullus, because Nullus is just going all infantry here, and Mr. Boat is just not able to push forward. We do see the dwarves coming in now to pick off this dock here. Just a side build here. Put these units into here, turn them into Ulfsark, and then you can go on this town center. While you're going on the front town center as well, wouldn't be a bad idea. Those sort of Villager Ragnaroks are really strong late game tools for Norse players to utilize. The Firestorm coming down, doing so much initial damage to those Murmillo. The Lampade in the back is going to get picked off there as well before she gets off her Chaos special ability there. And the Huskar somehow are just doing work here. I just can't. I don't get it. Why are you still making Huskar? Just make Ulfsark here. It's not like he's got bravery or anything. He went through Balder. He doesn't have iron weapons either. Now we're finally seeing some watchtowers getting thrown up, which is absolutely huge. Idle villages over here. A lot of population needs to move those in. So throwing up these watchtowers is going to be really big, because now he can start sieging at this town center and defending this position. We do see another Lampade coming in here, able to pick off this fire giant, but it will die very fast to the baluster of Mrboat, who is continuously pushing in here, and Nullus is just trying to stay alive as this game is continuing on. And we are seeing the infantry of Nullus have to retreat. It's got so many Mrboat here, but the Fire Giant just do so much damage to them when they throw that special ability. The Lampade coming back in with her special ability, ready to pick off another Fire Giant here, and Mrboat not paying attention. The Lampade picks it off, and then we'll be getting out of there, or potentially not getting out of there. But there it goes. The Talon Center just about to fall as this happening. We do see the Watchtowers are coming back up in this location for Nullus here. And Hillfort in the back going down. The Dwarves coming into the front right now to either be sacrificial villagers to make population space or transition into Ulfsark here, but just not doing that one, deciding sacrificing them is a better idea. And this market over here has been rebuilt. There's more of these guard towers coming up for Nullus, and we'll see what his decision is here. If he just holds on to this position, building up more watchtowers, he will definitely be in a better position, but he has to be careful not to lose his trade route. He's only got 21 gold in the bank, so it's very important for him here to not lose that trade route. He's also out of wood in his base, or almost. He's got a couple more forests here to utilize here, but needs to get those villagers back to work. And Nullus is now prevented this trade route from being a thing, deleting that market, and going to have to build the market even closer. Just build it up here, bud. Up here is better. You see an ox cart here. It's an ox cart that should have died a long time ago, to be honest. That's one population that could have been used. And the baluster now still pushing in. They're going to be able to start taking down the palace as he's getting out another watchtower here. And Nullus is really struggling for resources. He's got a couple more armory upgrades, but still super far behind Mrboat here, who has got these watchtowers popping up, baluster on this side of the map. Got to be careful. These are really out of position here. They move super slow at only 2.4 speed versus the speedy Oranos units here. They may be able to pick these ones off here. And the baluster is going to move around. Market is up here. We'll see if he's moving a unit over to the other side. No, these villages are still idle for Mrboat. Very, very sad to see that, to be honest. Very sad. And now the Lampade does get picked off there, and even though the Fire Giant here is sort of guided up, it's not really doing too much. It's actually targeting down the watchtower, which is pretty good. And this palace is going down slowly but surely, and the units moving in to pick off the fire siphon, or not the fire siphon, the ballast here, doing some big work. Now a villager for Nullus on the other side of the map, looking for a side build here, making sure there's no market or trade route happening. These caravans here dropping 55 gold off. Also sniping that transport ship here. And then the units moving in to pick off Nullus's army. More watchtowers coming up for Mrboat. I love this. He can't secure the town center, so just keep on throwing up towers as he's pushing forward. Nullus sitting at 140 of 140 population to Mrboat's 160 of 160 population. And this is looking like it's not going to be winnable for Nullus at this point. I don't see it. He's able to force the trade route back, but he doesn't cut it off. In his units, he's still only got heavy Arcus at 44 minutes into the game. You can't be not max upgrades this late, and he still doesn't have full armor either. And Nullus does tap out at the 44th minute mark in the game. And Mrboat takes it 2-1 in this best of 3. Well played by Mrboat. Some really nice Odin play here. Nice Ragnarok. Unfortunately, losing a lot of it in this town center. I mean, he had to be a little bit creative with it. Nice transport shenanigans to prevent this gold mine. Cutting gold was huge here for slowing down Nullus. And then just the constant pressure, able to keep Nullus down, and no upgrades coming in meant that he could keep trading efficiently with these units, even though they weren't the best units, making Huskarl to fight against Mrmillo when Huskarl kind of get countered by infantry is is a sad state of affairs, but it worked out for him, and he takes this series and the win. And GG, well played. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Boit. If you have enjoyed these games, please hit the follow button and the subscribe button on the YouTubes, and I will see you guys next time.